All right, good day, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Class is in session. There is no particular lesson for today. Instead, what we're going to be doing is presenting the course introduction to what will hopefully become the free Spanish course. Now, this essentially what it means is we're going to be talking about what the course is, what is not, who is it for, who is it not for, who am I, and who am I not. So first thing first, there are three types of people that will gain benefit from this video and from the information that will be presented in the subsequent weeks. Number one, those of you who've been on the edge about learning Spanish. Maybe you want to give it a try and see if you have what it takes to learn the language. If so, this will be for you. Number two, I have those of you who have tried to learn Spanish, but for whatever reason have failed or don't think they have what it takes to go ahead and learn it properly. If you're in that boat and you think that's one of you, I beg you to reconsider, because the information that I will be presenting in the subsequent weeks will be for you. Last but not least, I have those of you who have already been learning Spanish. Maybe you're feeling a little stuck or you want to get ahead a little better. If so, I will have information as well that will be of benefit for you. Now, let me tell you who this is not for. If you have a trip coming up, let's say you're going somewhere that speaks Spanish and you just want to get by, speak with the locals, or you want to learn some stuff quick, this is not for you. If you're in that boat, I would kindly encourage you to stop watching and go watch something else. The way I will be presenting this information and the way the course is designed is for those who genuinely want to dominate Spanish and be fluent, truly fluent in the language. It is not meant to be a speak quick scheme. I am not going to promise you that, oh, by watching this and watching my course, you're going to be 100% fluent by yesterday. That is not true. I will not be telling you this. My objective with this course is to grab you wherever you are. And in my mindset, if you're an absolute beginner, I will grab you at absolute zero and take you all the way to the point that you can autonomously learn Spanish on your own. That is the big picture objective of what I'm aiming for with the presentation of this material. So if you are wanting to do things quicker and just get some phrases to get by, look elsewhere, because this will not be it. Now that I have addressed who this course is for and who is it not, let me go ahead and address the course itself. How is this course different from anything else that you might see in YouTube or elsewhere? Well, for me to answer that, I will have to give you a brief introduction about myself so you can get to decide whether it's worth listening to me or not. So who am I? My name is Kevin and I was born and raised in the Caribbean. Now, for those of you who may be unfamiliar, the Caribbean is a region of the planet that predominantly speaks Spanish. I was born in an island called Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico is a country that has a unique trait. It is a country that speaks Spanish, but it is a territory of the United States. Therefore, in a sense, I grew up with a hybrid culture. On the one hand, speaking English, on the other hand, speaking Spanish. Now, I migrated to the States in 2014, and throughout the years up to this point, I had the ability of tutoring a variety of people of different backgrounds and different age groups. Now, fast forward through my graduate studies, and I had the opportunity of obtaining a certificate of medical interpretation from the Tennessee Language Center. I know that's a mouthful, but I say this to say that when it comes to Spanish, I have a little bit of knowledge that I might be able to share with you. I will say this for transparency's sake, this is not my primary line of work. I am a professional in the healthcare field that I will not name to keep things separate, but I will tell you, I do use my language skills on a daily basis when it comes to helping and dealing with patients. So, with that introduction out of the way, let's go back to the previous question. How is this course different from any other course? There's a couple of aspects to it. Number one, for whatever reason, I have attempted to look far and wide, including in the academic setting. But when it comes to teaching a language, most courses and more instructions jump right into the language. But you rarely, if ever, find information on how to think about the language in the first place. You don't find that information on background of how do you go about it, how do you set realistic expectations, and what is it that you're truly walking into when you say, I want to learn X language. So this course will have a little bit of that. Before we dive into the actual Spanish, I'm going to briefly talk about some concepts such as language, communication, fluency, and setting up realistic expectations for those. It is my belief and understanding that if you truly understand what you're learning and what you're getting into, then your learning process will be much smoother and enjoyable. On the other hand, this course is intended to be modular by nature. Now, if you don't have any other resource at home and you're just strictly learning Spanish, watching my videos, then the course itself will be standalone, all right? You will be able to just watch the videos and sequentially progress throughout the course. That being said, if you have material already, or you're in school, or you got something else going on, you don't have to follow the videos in a particular sequence. They're intended to be isolated and modular by nature. You can just grab what you need, focus on that, and then use it as a supplementation to anything else that you're doing at home, okay? This is not one of those courses where you have to do it my way, otherwise you will never learn the language. That is absolutely not true. This is intended to help anybody who has the willingness to truly sit down, put in the work, and learn Spanish. Last but not least, there's a third aspect to this that I believe is quite different from what you typically find in other locations. And that I call it the scalability of the course itself. What does that mean? Well, if you have ever attempted to learn a language in the academic setting, you might be able to relate to what I'm about to say. Typically on textbooks, when you grab them and you open them up, the first page says something like, oh, let's learn how to say hello, or let's learn these simple words and whatnot. Good. But then by the time you get to the second page, for whatever reason, you are being asked to write a thesis statement on a given topic in Spanish. In essence, you go from 0 to 100 very, very quickly. Not only that, but for whatever reason, oftentimes you will be introduced to a chapter. The chapter will give you vocabulary, grammar points, and ideas to understand. But then by the time you get to the end of the chapter, you are expected to comprehend complete paragraphs that have additional vocabulary and additional grammar points that were never introduced at the beginning of the chapter to begin with. That tends to throw students off, as you can imagine, and that is what I mean by the scalability of the difficulty. This is not intended to go from 0 to 100 in an instant. It is meant to take you from absolute nothingness, and I do mean it, going back to absolute square one and slowly building yourself up, stacking your progress up till you get to those higher levels. Now, that being said, this course doesn't follow the typical linear progression that most textbooks have. I don't tend to think of language topics in terms of this is hard or this is easy. I just see them as different challenges. And it is my belief in the way I'm presenting this course that if you were to stack things correctly, you will be able to learn things that are considered difficult early on at the beginning. All right. So don't think that, oh, the first session is just going to be beginner stuff, and then later down the road, we're going to get into advanced stuff. No, the course will pick up speed fairly quickly, but my aim is to introduce things in such a way that you won't even feel that you're dealing with advanced concept or advanced level material. If that makes sense. So in my humble opinion, these are some of the main differences about this course that differentiates it from everything else that you might have experienced already. And like I said, most of my background comes from the academic setting. I've been in that arena for a little bit, and I myself have tried to take classes of different languages in the academic setting. And to summarize everything, it just sucks. So most of the information, knowledge, and experience that I will be presenting to you comes from that arena, and that's what we'll be presenting in this course as I put out videos subsequently. So that is all I have for you to now. If anything of what I said is of interest to you, then go ahead and like and subscribe. You know the drill in YouTube. Class will be dismissed, but for our next meeting session, we're going to go ahead and start talking about language, communication, and fluency. Once we get clear through that series, we're going to go ahead and dive right into the beginning concept of Spanish.